Let me start off by saying that both Joel and Deacon aren't gay, but they will f*** you. Joel and Deacon St. John are both burly men with burly beards and big burly balls a swinging. Their personalities complete the image, strong and silent when they can, otherwise emotionally inept, being generally caustic for no reason other than, "Oh, my wife didn't make it, and my daughter died in my dinky diddle dooey." I'm just kidding, I cried. This means to say though, you really wouldn't want to meet them at a party, and you're just never going to see them at a party in the first place. They'll probably not drink and then make you feel bad that you do.
Want one?
No, I don't want one.
And then probably embarrass your girlfriend.
You want to explain this?
Deke? Deke! Hey, Deke, bro. I think it's dead. You're gonna break my shotgun.
If you do find yourself with one of them, it's probably not because you found the magical Marshmallow Valley, where Barnaby, the first fluffy giraffe, teaches you how to play Celebrity Guess Who, a game where no one loses and actually no one wins either. No, the worlds that Joel and Deacon inhabit are ones of quiet oblivion. These worlds won't serve freshly made bakery treats, nor with their iced tea. Instead, they will kill your wife and your daughter and turn you into a monster. A world where a simple yes or no question could be the last one you ever answer. Is it Tom Hiddleston? No. Now I'm gonna break your fingers. Okay, so enough with the preamble. Let's talk about what makes these two tick. You'll find that they're quite unique from each other, but let's dive into what makes them the same first, starting with their brutish, pouty face. The brutish, pouty face is a staple for both these grumpy guys. Joel's mug was created using Naughty Dog's in-house engine back in 2013, and yet there's sizable wrinkles detailing the wincing pain Joel feels on a daily basis. Then 5 years later, Deacon was created using the Unreal Engine, which looks quite better thanks to current gen tech. His character design is also pleasing. He has these big, bushy eyebrows, which makes him more capable of expressing his internal pain and general unpleasantness. Now, Joel was around 29 when his daughter was murdered, and in his late 40s during most of the game, so that's around 10 plus years of sadness right there, roughly about 6 years over Deacon, because Deacon St. John is in his 30s during the bulk of his game, and with only about 4 years of sadness spent out in the shit, as he would say. So age has a lot to do with how hard you can technically pout, but it doesn't stop there. Although Deacon only has about 4 years of zombie killing under his belt, his killing record traces back before the world went to shit. Serving in the army, a few tours in Afghanistan, and running with a motorcycle club has left the road behind him covered in blood. One time, when hanging out with his motorcycle friends, he teams up with his bestie, Boozer, and they both hold down a fellow comrade against his will, burning off his back tattoo with the blowtorch, which must have took some doing because the tattoo covered the guy's entire back. That guy goes crazy and eventually becomes the leader of a huge cult which worships zombies, rapes, murders, and tortures people daily for existential and religious purposes. Not to mention, he sleeps in his poop now. So, in a way, Deacon is responsible for these atrocities. Prior to his biker gang shenanigans, he enlists in the army, tours in Afghanistan, so let's go ahead and put him at 13 years of killing and also some weird shit. So, hairs plus chest for Deacon. During the time Deacon was running with the MC near DC, Joel was a single-parent country bumpkin living outside Austin, Texas, trying to make a music career with his 12-year-old daughter and an absent wife. So who wins at pouting? Who has grounds to pout more? Well, given that Deacon was heartless enough to do bad things before the outbreak, makes it a little harder to pity him when he loses his wife. Deacon is brash in his actions and consequentially helps create the world he lives in currently, meaning almost everything that's bad in his life is his own fault.
I guess Boozer's right. I can't help myself.
As Deacon's story unfolds, he becomes more aware of the consequences of his former actions. Actually, Deacon and his wife share this similar character arc. She and him are both living in their self-made misery. This is actually his saving grace because now aware, he tends to do a bit more self-reflection before he acts. Unlike Joel, who will break your arm and pop a tendon in your leg to get what he needs. Like right now.
I'll pop your goddamn knee off.
But unlike Deacon's misfortune being of his own doing, Joel, on the other hand, has been dealt a bad hand. The prologue gave us the impression that he was tired and unable to see his daughter much due to work or something. Oh, and no wife. You get the idea that things didn't go quite as planned for Joel from the start, and it really doesn't get any better from there. Joel now quietly at boiling point at all times, anxious and annoyed, yet not the kind of anxiety you look for to reconcile like Deacon, but the kind with the slight foreboding of what life is going to present next. Less punk rock and more country song, damaged but not broken. Not only that, but when it comes to the day-to-day, the outbreak was a serious change in pace for Joel. You see, because Deacon joined a gang and fought in wars because he didn't care much for society. So when it all went bad, he was comfortable with it for the most part. Joel's change was night and day. The murder of society along with his daughter left Joel to have to find a completely new meaning to live. Current Joel is a soulless cavity, a man trapped in the past, trapped in that he cannot fathom a new way to live in his reality. Upon getting to know Ellie, he can't help, as hard as he tries, to overlay the dynamics of their relationship to fit the father and daughter template. It sucks because he can't let go of Ellie, which is what he needs to do to potentially save the species. He can't let go of Ellie because he's still holding on to his daughter, like a ghost. His thoughts and feelings from that night are petrified inside his core being, eventually letting it fully consume him in the end. Because unlike Deacon, Joel has no faith in his reality. He does not believe things will get better.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past.
So pouting. Pouting is really effective when we can understand the character. I like it when Deacon pouts because I know there is still hope left for a soul. When it comes to connecting and understanding these characters, I find it really difficult, actually, to get to Joel. You see, Joel and Ellie's final moments before the credits start is profound. In the end, I find that I just can't relate to him because he's too far gone. Watching him lie to Ellie about what happened to the Fireflies scared me, because for the first time, we get a glimpse into who he is now. And what he is now is a true pessimist. He can live with a massive lie at the expense of the one person he can never tell, the one person he'll probably see a lot of, like at breakfast. How awkward is that? This is why he's scary. He has such little faith in his reality that he actively chooses not to believe it. What makes it worse is that Ellie knows that he's lying because the one thing Ellie's been trying to do this whole journey is level with him, which is why it makes your heart deflate when he finally reveals himself and he's just this ghost, as a phantom of his former self.
I got you. I got you.
Still running with his dead daughter in his arms.
Oh, shit.
Torpedo!
When Joel pouts, it's on existential levels. Anyways, in contrast to that, Deacon St. John's story raps like it was some comedy action flick. Baddies get punished, girl gets saved, your friend doesn't die after all, and literally all of them go riding off into the sunset. Credits roll. Deacon even learns how to start loving life again. Deacon is a lot more relatable because his humanity is barely in question. Even though he is a leather vest, metal, brain-bashing son of a gun, he's still following his heart. His humanity is what sets him apart from Joel. He doesn't just want to survive, he wants to live.